Everything you've been told about making a strong impression is psychological manipulation designed to keep you average. In the next 10 minutes, I'll show you 5 strategic moves that powerful men use to become psychologically unforgettable in any room, and why 73% of men who ignore this remain invisible forever. But here's what's shocking. Machiavelli wrote about this exact phenomenon 500 years ago. Modern psychology proves it works, and I'm about to show you exactly how to use it. This isn't about being loud or arrogant. These are battle-tested psychological strategies used by CEOs, world leaders, and men who command respect without saying a word. You'll learn the strategic positioning technique that makes people unconsciously defer to you, the psychological silence tactic that creates instant authority, and the room-reading strategy that puts you 3 moves ahead of everyone else. Every social interaction where you don't apply these principles, someone else is using them against you. Let me start with a psychological reality that will make most men uncomfortable. Research from Harvard Business School shows that in any room of 10 people, only 2 to 3 are remembered as having a commanding presence. The other 7 to 8, psychologically invisible. Here's what's really disturbing. A study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology tracked 847 business professionals across 6 months. The men who were promoted, invited to high-level meetings, and became go-to people all shared 5 specific behavioral patterns. The men who stayed invisible. They did the opposite of every single one. But here's where it gets psychological. These patterns aren't natural. They're strategic. And once you understand the psychology behind them, you can never unsee how they're being used around you. While you've been taught to be humble, to blend in, to wait your turn, other men have been using strategic psychology to position themselves as the obvious choice for leadership, opportunities, and respect. The 5 moves I'm about to share aren't just social tactics. They're the psychological foundation of every man who walks into a room and immediately becomes the center of gravity. Before we dive into the 5 moves, you need to understand the psychological principle that makes them work. Dominance hierarchy recognition. Machiavelli wrote in The Prince, "Men judge generally more by the eye than by the hand, for everyone can see and few can feel. Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few really know what you are." This isn't about deception. It's about understanding that human psychology operates on instant hierarchy assessment. Within 7 seconds of entering any room, everyone's brain is unconsciously ranking who has power, who has value, and who can be ignored. This changes everything about how you should enter social situations. Neuroscience research from MIT shows that our brains make dominance assessments faster than conscious thought. The strategic moves I'm about to share work because they speak directly to this unconscious hierarchy system. Invisible men hope to be noticed for their work. Unforgettable men strategically position themselves to be perceived as valuable before they even speak. Here are the 5 strategic moves that make men psychologically unforgettable in any room. Move number 1. The strategic entrance. Most men enter rooms like they're apologizing for existing. Powerful men use what psychologists call controlled presence projection. Here's exactly how it works. You pause in the doorway for 2 to 3 seconds, make deliberate eye contact with 2 to 3 people across different areas of the room, then move with purpose to a strategic position, never the corners, never against walls. Research shows this triggers unconscious high-status individual recognition in others' brains. In meetings, enter, pause, survey, then sit where you can see everyone. In social events, same principle, but position yourself where conversations naturally flow past you. Move number 2. The authority silence. While insecure men fill every silence with words, strategic men use silence as a powerful tool. Machiavelli understood that the person who speaks first in a tense moment reveals their psychological position. The person who can comfortably hold silence maintains control. When someone asks you a challenging question, pause for 3 to 4 seconds before responding. When someone makes a statement seeking validation, let the silence hang for 2 to 3 seconds. This triggers unconscious respect and positions you as someone who thinks before speaking. Move number 3, the social chess strategy. While most men react to social dynamics, unforgettable men read the room like a chessboard and position themselves strategically. Psychology research shows that every social group has invisible power triangles. There's always a dominant person, a challenger, and supporting players. Strategic men identify these triangles within minutes and position themselves accordingly. Never compete directly with the obvious alpha. That's amateur. Instead, position yourself as the strategic advisor or the person others come to for insight. This makes you essential without creating conflict. Move number 4, the value demonstration technique. But here's where most men make a critical mistake. Insecure men try to prove their worth by talking about themselves. Powerful men demonstrate value by solving problems others can't see. Listen for underlying tensions, unspoken challenges, or gaps in conversations. Then provide insights or connections that others hadn't considered. This positions you as someone who sees what others miss. The definition of strategic intelligence. Move number 5, the strategic exit. How you leave a room is as important as how you enter it. Most men fade away or make awkward goodbyes. Strategic men use the exit to reinforce their memorable presence. Psychology shows that people remember the peak moment and the ending of any interaction. Strategic men create a high-value moment, then exit while they're ahead, never overstaying or fading into background conversations. Make one final valuable contribution to the conversation. Connect with 2 to 3 key people individually, then exit with purpose. Say, I need to handle something, but this was valuable, rather than, I should probably get going. Now here's how you integrate these 5 moves into a strategic psychology system. Every room you enter becomes a chessboard. You're not there to be liked. You're there to be remembered as someone with strategic value. Your entrance establishes presence. Your silence demonstrates control. Your positioning shows strategic thinking. Your value demonstration proves intelligence, and your exit ensures a lasting impression. This isn't about manipulation. It's about understanding how human psychology actually works and positioning yourself advantageously within those systems. But here's what's crucial. These moves only work when they come from genuine strategic thinking, not insecurity trying to appear powerful. The difference is that strategic men use these techniques to create value for others, while insecure men use them to boost their ego. Practice one move at a time. Master the strategic entrance this week. Next week, add the authority silence. Build these into unconscious habits over time. Every day, you don't implement these strategic moves. Other men are using them to position themselves ahead of you in career advancement, social influence, and leadership opportunities. Understanding these moves changes how you see every social interaction. You'll start noticing who's using strategic psychology and who's operating unconsciously. You'll see the invisible hierarchies, the power dynamics, the psychological chess matches happening in every room. Start with situations where you have nothing to lose. Practice the strategic entrance at coffee shops, the authoritative silence in casual conversations, and the room reading at networking events. Build the psychological muscle memory. While other men hope to be noticed, you'll be strategically positioning yourself to be unforgettable. Let me be clear about what just happened. You just learned the 5 strategic moves that separate psychologically unforgettable men from the invisible majority. Strategic entrance, authority silence, social chess positioning, value demonstration, and strategic exit. These aren't just social tactics. They're the psychological foundation of every man who commands attention, respect, and opportunity in any room he enters. Here's your strategic challenge. Pick one move and implement it this week. Document how people respond differently to you. You'll be shocked at how quickly your social reality changes when you start thinking strategically instead of hoping to be noticed. If this opened your eyes to the strategic psychology of male presence and influence, subscribe for more psychological insights that most men never learn. Drop a comment telling me which of the 5 moves you're going to master first and why. And be specific. Tell me exactly which situations you'll practice in. No generic responses. You now have the strategic psychology advantage. The question is, are you going to use it to become unforgettable, or are you going to stay invisible like the 73% who know what to do but never act on it?